I'm an architect, and I coordinate the urban transformation unit. We have a particular attention on the innovation. Before starting with my presentation, it's important to give you a brief introduction about the organization I work for. It's called Foundation for the Urban Innovation. Is a multidisciplinary urban research, development and co-production and communication center working to build the city of the future. We are founded by the city of Bologna, the municipality of Bologna, and the University of Bologna. This reflects our two aims. So on one side, together with the municipality, we manage processes, we act in the city with, as you will see, small interventions. And on the other side, with the university, we work on the research and making collaborate research and development is our main topic. How to do it? As I said, I'm the coordinator of the area for the innovation in urban transformation, and I'm an architect. But in our team, we are around 30 people with different backgrounds for different fields. So data analysis, geographers, sociologists, policy officers, and other professionals. This gives us to have always a different perspectives on the urban transformations. And this seems to be simple, but for us, in every process, in every project we manage, is always very important to have these different perspectives, to put the people and the city at the center of our action. We interact with the people and with the city with different kind of tools. We have a particular area in our foundation that is in charge to innovate in the different tools of interaction we have with the people and with the city, and we can summarize the tools we use in this four different areas. So first of all, the most simple, let's say, is the megaphone. When we communicate some process or some project to the city, we just inform that. The second step is when we are antennas, so we communicate something and we collect the reaction from the city. We listen what the people say. It's not important to, in this case, give a reaction, but it's important to listen. And then in some cases we go deeper and we are arena. So together with the city, in this case we collaborate with the municipality. We decide to share some. The municipality decide to share some decisions with the citizens, with communities, with the people from the city. So we manage these kind of processes. This is a case, for example, of the participatory budgeting of the city of Bologna that we are in charge to manage. In other cases, and this is the case we will speak about today, we are factories. So we co-produce solutions, so urban transformation or also services, together with some group of citizens. In every of our processes, I'm sure we are always touching all these 4 points. So in some parts of the projects, we are megaphone, in other cases we are antennas, in other cases arena, and in other cases factory. Today, I will take the chance about of this project, Tactical Urbanism, to see how we used the qualitative and quantitative data in order to support this process of tactical urbanism. Tactical urbanism is a strategy, an instrument used all around the world to make simple transformation with paint on the asphalt and with some and cheap urban furniture to transform rapidly urban spaces. We were 2 years ago in the middle of the pandemic, and the municipality of Bologna decided to act the emergency pedestrian plan in order to anticipate some solutions that were already goals of the strategic plan of the city. The strategic plan of the city are mainly two: the urban plan and the mobility plan. In both of them, the municipality had the goal to create the street and school square in front of the schools in order to create space for meeting and socializing for the kids from the schools, and ensure the autonomy and awareness of children walking from them place to school. But this was a strategy on long terms, on the 10 years, and they didn't have any study case on any solution to create a school square. No one of us neither know what was a school square. So with the tactical urbanism, we took the chance of the instrument of tactical urbanism as an incremental process to test some solution and to evaluate. So we gave our definition of tactical urbanism, that is to analyze the effect and the effect of a test on the city, on the transformation of a place. In order to test it, in order to habilitate this incrementation process, we put a lot of attention in the evaluating of this small-scale transformation. So we decided that for every experimentation made in this field, we would have made an observation before and after the experimentation. This is more or less, as I said, for every process we do, we have a sector that is in charge to define the method of the process, of this process, and this is like an example. And so we have two, the highlighted in white are the two observing monitoring phase before and after the tactical intervention. The first case was this one, and from this picture you will also realize how this experimentation are related in solution to the climate change, because this was a parking lot in the inner core of the city, and with our intervention, with low-cost intervention and rapid realization solution, we transformed this parking lot in a square, in a proper square, with green intervention and many activity organized by us or other stakeholders of the city. Then we went out from the city center and we tried to, with another experiment, this was a street, and rapidly we transformed in a place where to meet with different occasion. We also had attention and to communicate the intervention to all the publics with a particular attention to the kids. And this was the first experimentation of Scholastic Square, because we were in the middle of different schools, a school area, and this was a space for the kids before and after the entrance in the school. We also, in this case, used particular furnitures like this one, that seems to be a bench, but not proper a bench, in order to investigate by the observation and monitoring the different uses that people made of these urban furnitures. This would have given us the idea of what the people needed for the place, if a bench or a play furniture, like in this case. But the case I will speak about more deeply today is this via Procaccini intervention. Also in this case, we had this area what was a not design area, like our cities are full of, that was normally used as a parking lot, formally and informally. And we are close to a school, also in this case, a school in a district with no green areas and no space where to meet in safe. And so, yes, this was the situation. We co-designed together with the kids from the school a solution for transforming this place. Particularly, we engaged them in defining the games that we would have drawn on the ground and the sentences they would have designed on the ground. And so they decided to say, to write ciao in 13 different languages, and they also realized together with us. This was the final aspect of the intervention, and then the observation and monitoring. That is the interesting thing for us today. In this case, we decided to make the use of qualitative and quantitative tools to collect data. In other cases, we just used analogic system to collect data, like this one, the counting on site. So there was a colleague of mine collecting data in some hours of the day of the people passing by, counting them before the entrance and after the exit from school, etc. And in the beginning, we started with this solution because we thought it would have been easier and cheaper. After 2 or 3 experimentation, we decided to implement this system, and together with a company, Systematica, and its foundation, Transform Transport, based in Milan, we decided to implement the counting with the camera. This gave us a big chance to have more sophisticated data and more particular data on the transformation we made, particularly focused on the flux of people in the area and cars in the street. So this was the view of the camera before the intervention, and we had 1 month of observation before the intervention and 1 month of observation after the intervention. For every instrument we use, we always do observation before and after the intervention. The same for the mapping. Also for the mapping, we normally use analogic systems, so a colleague that collect data on the field. But also in this case, we will see how the camera helped us. Also, if the mapping on site is still important, because the camera cannot collect the function, the activities that people do on the area, and mapping on site can. And then photography. Also, photography was an important instrument for collecting data. Particularly, is not an evaluation instrument itself, but is an instrument important to illustrate the activities that people do on the area. The other important instrument we are using is the survey. So we share a survey with panels hanged in the street. We share with the survey with the stakeholder, like the school, the library, the market in the area, and through the oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm going the wrong direction. Yes. With the survey, we decided to collect a different kind of data about the perception, always before and after the experimentation, about the perception of the city, of the citizen of the space, the expectative of the city of the space, and the use the citizens were making of the space. When we use also the interview with the stakeholders of the area and outreach, speaking with people on the field. So we just released the report of the observation the last week about this intervention, and is the report that give us somehow the result of the impact of the intervention in the area, because compare the results before and after the interventions. These are some of the results. I won't go deeper now, but the interesting thing is always like how the informatized data, like in this case, can give us information that are coherent with the data we collected on-site analogically, but give us a scientific, more scientific method and more quantitative data. And like in this slide, we can appreciate how before and after the intervention, the use of the square is much more denser, particularly close to the furnitures. And how is also changed the crossing of the street and the use of the street itself. We also have data about the reducement of the speed of the cars in the street. Yes, here in this particular case, we see how the furnitures are attractive for people. And the same data are given by this is an expert from the survey, and we can see how is also in the perception of the citizens that the use of the square is increased. So we always see the comparison between perceived data and objective data. Yeah, and about perception, the qualitative data are qualified by the perception of people. The sense of safe in the area is increased a lot more than the others. Also, what the people think about the accessibility of the area is now better than before, and also the usefulness of the area. Now this is a cloud in Italian, but before they saw it like a lost opportunity. They saw the space like a lost opportunity, like a parking, and without identity. And now the people see the beautifulness of the place, the opportunity for aggregate to socialize, and they see it like a space for gathering together with the others. With the interview and the outreach on field, we also collected some information from the students that qualify the action they do in the area. So someone of them said that they started cycling to school because of the bike racks we put it with the project on the place. And someone else said that they used to eat lunch there together with the classmates. This is what the photography also as an instrument gave us to illustrate the change of the space before and after the intervention. And this is the report that, as I said, it was just released the last week and is important for us because we have to is published and shared with the administration, and this will be the occasion to design the final transformation, because I said before this is a temporary transformation of the place, and the permanent transformation of the place will be based on the results of the report. Obviously, we hope that the permanent transformation, that the city administration is in charge of the permanent transformation, will be based on the collected data and the results of the report. But in the meanwhile, we also have another important result. That this project was implemented the last spring, and in the meanwhile, the administration, without seeing the data, they decided that the function was working, and they decided to realize, still together with us, the first permanent school square in another district of the city. So this is already an interesting result of the experimentation, because otherwise, in my opinion, would have been impossible with the first experimentation of school square and the observation to build this permanent square, and this is under work, and obviously is not temporary, as you can see, is a permanent square, and they are realizing the time is over. But we are at the final remarks. In my opinion, and we will also have the chance to speak about that, about this in the debate we will have together with Peter. The tactical urbanism and the observation are useful to support radical decisions from the city administration with objective data, and this can also influence the strategies, as we saw, is not just about that place, but is about a strategy for the future of the city. This occasion of the observation enhance the public space as a space of participation, because in this case what we made is making the people participating in a public debate just accessing that place while we were observing them activity and collected data about them activity. In this way, thanks to observation with data, we can achieve solutions that are more responsive to local needs in the transition between the first experimentation, the first test, and the final transformation of the place, and test and explore new function for the city, like the first school square that we experimented. For the moment, that's all, and we'll speak about that in the debate. Thank you very much.